Let's go!
Hey, Sterling, go to bed.
Today's video, I'm going to share why this Chiefs offensive performance was actually overrated. Stay tuned to the end because we got one wild stat for you. Their best coverage defender on the evening makes a pretty nice play here versus zone to back up and pick this guy up. And guess what? He forces Mahomes to tuck and run with it. He knows number 50 is a freaking ball hawk of a defender, so you do not want to throw the football anywhere in his direction. If Mahomes would have thrown this, it would have been a pick six. But this is what's very interesting. Brock Purdy's able to pull this off as well. No one has ever been able to stop a quarterback fake throwing and then running afterwards. I don't know why. It always freezes a defender. So Mahomes obviously picks up the first down, and he did a lot of this tonight. My favorite film study analyst on Twitter is a guy named Honest NFL, and he tweeted out a bunch of different mesh variations he thought the Chiefs were going to run, and here's another one. Obviously, I don't have the all-22 yet, but JuJu Smith Schuster, is this a pick? I mean, you can make a case. I don't think picks are within, if it's within 1 yard, maybe it's legal. I don't know, rules experts, let me know if you think that was a pick. But Mahomes gets this ball to Kelce, who had a big night. And then we get to hear Chiefs stacking their receivers in a bunch formation, and the Saints just lose the greatest tight end of all time over the middle. And for those that were panicking about Travis Kelce to start the season, well, need not panic any further. Now, life is a lot easier when, you're getting this. But, man, what a freaking play. And you get a nice open field tackle right here from a former teammate. This guy's a pretty good football player, too. Are absolute masters of this. Chipping with your tight end, having him block, and then having him leak. It's play action here. You got a lot of action going here to the left, and you got all these defenders flowing here to the left, and now you're rolling off to the right, and you have to respect Mahomes' scramble ability, but guess where the ball is actually going? To this tight end leaking right here, okay? You'll see that he's all the way down here on the defensive tackle, and his job right here is to just get lost and then give Mahomes a window to throw the football, and all it is just that simple, stupid screen and roll action. No one could defend it. Even the Chiefs could not defend the tight end leaks tonight as the Saints scored a touchdown on it. We've already done a Saints offensive film study. It's flowing in the top right corner of your screen. I think one disappointment for the Saints is Kareem Hunt had a fantastic game considering they just picked him up, right? And obviously, him and Mahomes are back together. Carl Granderson is just getting dominated. 95, who's a deeper backup player. Ridgeway, man. I am about to say something that's kind of crazy. Mahomes is probably better when you're getting him off his spot, right? Chase Young getting a lot of rush, but there's no contain on this side. 96 Granderson has been a really good player for the Saints. This is just poor defense here on the left side, okay? You can see the spin move by Brisset gets absolutely eaten alive, and Granderson decides to cut to the inside here, and that loses this contain and prevents Chase Young from having a sack. He had 64 beat pretty easily there. I'm telling you right now, Chase Young had a pretty nice day, and it was an okay day. We'll put it like that. And he finds Travis Kelce here over the middle. Man, more Mahomes magic here. So jet sweep motion with JuJu Smith Schuster. Play action to the left where they had some success running. And now Cam Jordan is the contained guy here to the backside. I want you to see the Saints were not really disciplined at all with their eyes or their contained responsibilities. Look at how much respect these two guys who have played a lot of football. I mean, these are players the Chiefs have brought back into their system. Look at how much gravity just this one little fake brings, okay? Demario Davis floating this way. Alontae Taylor and man coverage responsibility floats this way. And there's nobody here on the backside of this, okay? So all Mahomes has to do is just get this ball over Cam Jordan. And how many times have you seen Andy Reid design something where it's a guy just running wide the frick open, and you're just not going to catch Xavier Worthy with the first guy right there. Harris pulled his hamstring there. Saints were already pretty banged up going into this game. The funny thing about this 3rd and 22 is this ends up being the second most impressive play on the freaking night. Andy Reid said that they work on this every day in practice, which is just crazy to think about. I think laterals are going to become a bigger thing in the NFL. And as you can see, Travis Kelce pitches this to Samaje Perine, and he's almost able to pick up the first down. Chiefs are able to go for it. And, man, Travis Kelce is just magic, man. Just flat out a magical football player. Now we get to one of the worst Saints defensive reps on the night. It's 2nd and 10. They're crowding the line of scrimmage. I thought for the most part when they crowded the line of scrimmage, they kept dropping guys out. Saints did a lot of zone blitzing with their defensive linemen dropping back into coverage. They did a lot of these exotic pressures, and it just did not work all night long, okay? And I want you to see how open JuJu Smith Schuster is with all this time to throw. I thought this was very interesting here from Alontae Taylor. You notice he stops and never actually pursues Mahomes. Either way, man, if your blitz doesn't get there and you're getting exotic with an overload look, man, there's going to be coverage breakdowns on the back end, and there was a big one here. Yeah, this is going to be something that the Saints will see all year long. Chiefs getting in 13 personnel. They've done this as well and as much as basically anyone. This time you actually have Travis Kelce as a blocking decoy, play action fake, and it's just a shallow drag from the tight end to the opposite side of the field. Okay, you do have an unblocked blitzer. This is actually a really good play call, a boot right into a corner blitz. You'll take this all day, every day if you're a Saint fan. But Bill Belichick talks about this. You never want your defenders to be stacked. And the Saints defenders were stacked quite a bit. They were just so brutally outcoached. And I want you to just see how many open completions the Chiefs were able to have tonight. It was pretty freaking ridiculous. All right, do you know how athletic you have to be to play in the NFL? This is a pretty good sign of athleticism, right? It's not just about speed. Xavier Worthy is going to have this issue, okay? He's faster than Paulson Adebo, right? Alontae Taylor's probably a better foot speed matchup, but watch what happens on this ball right here from Mahomes. He starts off looking to the left, and then works backside here to Xavier Worthy on the go. Adebo has done really well guarding some fast receivers, and you'll see that yes, this isn't the absolute best throw from Mahomes, but I want you to see how easily Worthy is just pushed off the spot. Yes, this is an underthrow, so it's tough for a receiver to fight back to it, but this is just really not who Xavier Worthy is ever going to be as a player, and he falls down pretty easily. So it's going to be interesting to see how he develops as a goal ball receiver. Obviously, you saw the Cam Taylor-Britt interception when he was being defended. Yeah, so Chris Jones is the second best player on this team, probably alongside Travis Kelce. This is what he does to all kinds of offensive linemen. You always have to double him, right? You don't want to lose, especially on a 3rd and 12, going up against Chris Jones. All right, so the guard and the center go out to him. That sets up a one-on-one matchup here. Lots of backup Saints offensive linemen missing in the middle, including Cesar Ruiz. And Chris Jones creates those one-on-one matchups that allows 98 to go in there and make a play. So there was a go ball to Worthy that was bailed out by a pass interference call, and we get to hear Mahomes. This actually is a really, really good play. If you're Xavier Worthy, your job right here is to screen this guy, but you can't really screen him. You can't really touch him. And could he have slowed this up just a little bit to give JuJu that much, more room to operate? Maybe so, but Adebo just makes a really good play on it. This also wasn't the best ball location from Mahomes because it was slightly behind him. It allowed Adebo to get that ball up in the air. And if you want to see the breakdown of the most epic interception return you'll see, it's floating in the top right corner, okay? It was so freaking good. So if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, do you feel this offense is back? There is a lot of skepticism from me because guys were just running wide the frick open. I mean, wide the frick open. I can't tell you how many times guys were just this open. Now, this time it was because a player fell down, but is JuJu really going to have another game like this again? Probably not. And in this spot, you would like to see him beat Abrams, who was just brought up off the reserve roster. He does a good job, obviously, slowing him down and making a touchdown-saving tackle. All right, part of the Mahomes greatness is Andy Reid's play calling. You have Travis freaking Kelce in at quarterback, and you're running a little jet handoff. The funny thing about it is nobody actually respected Mahomes here on, the flat route. So you would think that the Saints would be able to guard this, but they can't. Okay, the jet sweep, the blocking, the hold right there by Travis Kelce. Man, this was a really good block right here from Carson Steele. Getting off that guy, pause. That is a really big pause. And getting back to Abram for the touchdown seal. Holy crap, Patrick Mahomes was so unfreaking believably good in this game. But I'm going to give you one stat at the end of this that will blow your freaking mind. It has been since late November of last season, a 31-17 victory versus the Raiders, when the Chiefs have scored more than 30 points in the game, or 28 points in the game, if you will. This offense still isn't fully clicking. So why was this Chiefs game overrated? Well, you're looking at some of the final stats here. It was a dominant performance. The better team won, but offensively, they still haven't scored 30-plus points in a game since last November, which is still kind of wild to me. And on top of that, guys were just running wide the frick open. Now, on play extenders like this is just Patrick Mahomes making a really special play. But you saw with the Kelce reception, that was an explosive. The JuJu reception, the slip with freaking Xavier Worthy. All these were just plays where the Saints just left guys running wide the frick open, and that is very concerning if you are a Saints fan like myself. So I'm still in the belief that the Chiefs need to go out there and get themselves another weapon. But you guys might strongly disagree with me. We showed you the stat a little bit earlier. This was the first Mahomes 300-yard game in regulation in quite some time. So, man, this is still a thing where I'm like, is this Chiefs offense really that good? And it's funny because in the first video, I even opined or even just brought up the question, could that Chiefs offense we saw versus the Ravens end up being one of the best offenses we have ever seen in the NFL? And you guys blew that video up. So let me know what you guys think. Am I overreacting to all the open guys? But, man, Mahomes was vintage Mahomes. God, this stuff really stings, especially considering the Sean Payton story of the Saints almost getting Patty freaking Mahomes. Look at that guy. Goodness gracious. Somebody's got to beat this team. Will they actually run the table and go undefeated this year? My goodness gracious, that would be so freaking insane. I don't think that they will, but still, I don't know. I'm not putting anything past Mahomes at this point. It is Power Hour NFL. Boom. And tonight, we're doing lamb chops. Let's go.